Hello, welcome back. Sinach's story isn't one that follows the script society usually hands to women, especially those from African or Christian backgrounds. At a time when most people expect women to be married by their 20s, she did the unthinkable. She waited until she was 41 to say I do. And while people might have raised eyebrows or questioned her timing, she wasn't moved. Her decision wasn't born out of fear or delay, but a deep trust in God's timing. This wasn't just about marrying late. It was about choosing purpose, identity, and wholeness first. Her life wasn't on pause before marriage, it was in full bloom. She was traveling, leading worship, writing songs that touched hearts across the world, and growing in her calling. Her music, like Waymaker and I Know Who I Am, didn't just resonate because of melody, they carried weight because she was living every word. Long before she walked down the aisle, Sinach had already stepped into her destiny. As a worship leader with Christ Embassy, she wasn't just supporting a ministry, she was creating one. Her songs became anthems of hope and identity. She poured her time and energy into serving, writing, growing, and becoming the kind of woman who didn't need to be rescued, but rather one who would partner in purpose. Her focus was never about simply being a bride. It was about becoming the woman God had called her to be, emotionally strong, spiritually rooted, and whole. So when love came in the form of Joseph Egbu, it wasn't to fill a void, it was the right fit for a complete woman who had already found her place in God. What sets Sinach's journey apart is her refusal to cave under pressure. She could have listened to voices urging her to settle early or telling her she was falling behind. But she chose silence over noise, patience over panic. She wanted a man who respected not only her but her walk with God. That kind of wisdom doesn't come easy. It comes from years of intimacy with God, self-awareness, and a refusal to treat marriage like a finish line. She didn't see singleness as a problem to fix but as a space to build. And when she did marry, it wasn't rushed or forced. It was timely, sacred, and aligned. In a culture obsessed with chemistry and outward appearances, she chose compatibility. In mission, she and Joseph weren't just romantically involved, they were ministry partners. They traveled, led worship, and served together. Their union was never about flashy pictures or Instagram-worthy moments. It was about building something eternal. When they finally welcomed their daughter in 2019, it was another chapter in a story that continues to unfold in God's perfect order. Even becoming a mother in her mid-40s went against what most people expected, but it showed once again that divine timing doesn't bend to human deadlines. Sinach didn't just challenge the narrative, she rewrote it. For women who've been told they're running out of time, her life is a gentle but powerful reminder that God is never in a hurry, yet never late. There's no expiration date on purpose, love, or calling. And instead of chasing timelines, Sinach chased God, and everything else followed in its time. Her testimony speaks to anyone feeling left out, overlooked, or rushed. It whispers, breathe, you're not behind. You're exactly where God has you. She teaches that what matters isn't how fast you check boxes, but how faithfully you walk in your season. She never let public pressure define her private choices. In the ministry world, relationships can be scrutinized, criticized, or even weaponized. Sinach knew that and waited for a relationship that added to her credibility, not questioned it. Her marriage wasn't a pivot away from her mission, it was a continuation of it. That kind of discernment doesn't come easy, but it's powerful. It means fewer regrets, deeper peace, and a testimony that endures beyond trends. And for women in ministry, especially those who remain single past society's comfort zone, Sinach became an example they didn't know they needed. She made it clear that ministry and marriage aren't mutually exclusive, but neither should be forced. She didn't have to choose between love and calling. She waited until both were aligned. That wait wasn't empty, it was full of growth, preparation, and purpose. And when the season changed, she walked into it with peace, not panic. What's most beautiful about Sinach's story isn't just what she did, but how she did it. Quietly, boldly, purposefully. She didn't make noise about her singleness or try to explain herself to a judgmental world. She let her life speak. Her integrity, her songs, her impact, they all tell a story of a woman who knew her worth, trusted her God, and waited well. The result is a marriage built not just on love but on mission. A family rooted not in fear of missing out, but in the confidence of divine timing. Her life also serves as a reality check for those who tie their value to deadlines. Beauty doesn't expire. Purpose doesn't expire. A woman's worth isn't measured by whether she's married by 30 or has children by 35. Sinach radiated joy, confidence, and grace at 41, reminding the world that obedience to God is more important than ticking boxes. She didn't settle for almost or good enough. She held out for what was meant for her, and it came. She continues to use her voice, not just in song but in counsel. To women struggling with pressure, loneliness, or fear, she offers wisdom rooted in experience. She reminds them that their timeline isn't broken just because it looks different. God writes every chapter with intention, and no season is wasted. Her story says, don't rush, don't compare, don't fear. It says that waiting is not losing, it's preparing. And while some people might view late marriage or motherhood as missed chances, Sinach's life shows it's just different timing. Her daughter came at a time of stability, peace, and spiritual maturity. Her home is calm, her marriage is anchored, and her ministry is expanding. She hasn't missed out, she's right on time. That's the kind of foundation that lasts. It's not built on panic, image, or performance, but on prayer, purpose, and preparation. Sinach has proven that when your life is centered on God, you don't have to chase blessings. They find you, and when they do, they fit, not force. Every decision she made, from waiting to marry to balancing ministry and motherhood, has echoed a deeper truth. Trust God's timing more than your fears. Her journey is proof that saying yes to God's way brings the right people, opportunities, and outcomes at the right time. She also reminds us that walking in purpose doesn't mean walking alone. But when God writes your story, the people who come into your life won't pull you off course, they'll join you on it. That's what makes her marriage different. Joseph didn't interrupt her mission, he partnered with it. They build together, serve together, and grow together. That's what makes it last.